Hello, my name is Jenna Head, and this is my 10-hour volunteer experience presentation. So, a little overview. For my volunteer experience, I spent my time at Lifestyles Incorporation. I learned so much in this such short amount of time, and I'm so incredibly grateful for this experience. I spent most of my time at the Blair Center in Fayetteville, and at this center, they do art classes. And I have always just been interested in photography, so this was my first time doing like art with paint and stuff, and I loved every moment of it. It was so much fun. And in my presentation, I will be sharing some of the things I learned, activities I engaged in, and also how this experience will impact my future. So, some activities that we participated in were before every class, we would meditate or do some sort of minimal exercise. And this really helped students to kind of get in the mindset of a calm mentality before starting work. And then after that, students would split into two groups, and one group would go to a classroom where they would learn skills for living, and the other group would work on their individual art projects. Some students at the Blair Center didn't do art. They would just go to the Skills for Living class, or sometimes they'd have an anthropology class. But me specifically, I was just helping with the art class. In the art class, I really did not feel that students needed much help. I was more there to help direct them if they needed reassurance or needed help figuring out something. Most students were able to work on their projects independently, and if they needed help, they did not hesitate to ask. The help I would normally provide consisted of providing reassurance, picking out colors for different pieces of work they were working on, taping off sections of the canvas, and most importantly, I was someone to talk to and someone that listened when they were working on their projects. So these are some of the key takeaways that I got from my time at Lifestyles. The biggest thing was patience. It's really important to have patience when you're working with individuals with special needs or cognitive disorders. Number two was vulnerability. When I first went to my first like volunteer session at Lifestyles, I was very shy, and I was nervous to talk to the students, but the more I opened up, the more they would feel comfortable opening up to me, and I really appreciated that. Number three is listen. Students really appreciate it when you listen. Active listening is so important in this setting, and I created great bonds with students just by simply listening to them. Number four, keeping an open mind. Over time I've gotten so used to the way that I do things, and I really had to adjust my way of thinking and tell myself that my way is definitely not always the right way. So, like I said, I really enjoy photography, so I was able to take pictures at Lifestyles, and I got some pretty cool shots. So, here's some work that students have done. The photo on the left is artwork for the botanical gardens, which was really cool. They're going to bring the art over there, and they're going to have like their own little exhibit. So this picture right here kind of shows a technique that they use for students at Lifestyles when painting. So basically you have a reference photo and then you have the canvas, and both of them are gridded. And basically a student works on one square at a time just so it doesn't get too overwhelming looking at an entire piece. This is really helpful for students, and the better they get at this skill, the bigger the squares get until they no longer need a square for painting. Here's some more photos of me interacting with the students. The photo on the top right is from a project that I did with two of the students, and it was a lot of fun. They had a big art show where they were able to show and sell it was sell out their artwork, and it was so fun to get to see the pieces that they had been working on throughout the time I was volunteering there, and see the finished product and see how happy they were to see where their art had come. I had showed where I was showing you guys the grid in the top right corner. That's the painting, the final product of it. And that was super fun too. I got to go and take pictures, which is something, like I said, I really like to do. This was the journal that I kept throughout the process. This is just a way for me to kind of keep track of what I did throughout the process of the volunteering. I pretty much talked about what I talked about in my last slides, like activities I participated in, and also like the things that I took away from each event. And moving forward, I was able to land a internship at Lifestyles for the summer, and I'm super excited for that. I'll be there 3 days a week, getting to work with students, and I'm so excited to see where this experience takes me. I've also, like I showed on the last slide with the art show, they've given me the opportunity to take photos at some of their events, and I'm incredibly grateful for that. And I'm so excited to also see where that experience will take me. Thank you for listening to my presentation. Thank you for your time, and if you have any questions, let me know.